I'm curious to what y'all think. Shan and Mistake. Do you think men are able to identify the difference between women that are just trophies and women that are treasure?
I I was gonna say I think it all depends on the age and stage they're at in life. I think just like how y'all said we get sense when we hit our 30s, I think it's kind of the same thing. I think um when the younger men are, they have trophies but think that they're treasures until they've had enough experience to recognize the difference between what a treasure is and a trophy is. So I think it depends on like how you was talking about how earlier you just used to, well, Aunt Pat put you on blast, but you already told us the story about how you did your thing with other girls, but you came across great girls. Not saying that they probably were they could have been treasures based on like what Aunt Pat was saying, but you were just probably in the trophy business at that point in time. And so but I think when you truly found your treasure, that you didn't treat your treasure like a trophy. You made sure you held on to it and you're protecting that. So I think it depends on your age and stage.
I agree, depending on the age and stage. I know you agree with the analogy, but I think because I was doing both, so I was trying to win the championship and get all the gold. So I think it's a little different, but I get what you're saying.
But it
So
didn't work out for you because you could never do both. Because eventually something has to come to a head.
Yeah, and when it did, I just changed it and gathered what's treasure. But I
so
had a long run though. I can't even hold you. The run was nice.
I think that men know. I think that men. I guess mistaken broken down from age, but I would say that even when they do know, they know. I think they've always known. I think the problem is people want what they want, and sometimes they don't want what they need, right? And that goes for men and women alike. So it looks good. It's not good for you, but it looks so good. It's a want. It's a desire. It fills my desires. But it's toxic. It's this. It's that. It's not a treasure. It's people out here. They don't even care that they don't even care to want a treasure. They just want a trophy. They in a point in their life where, how many times we say, oh, the men who hit men get older, they want a younger wife. That's a trophy. That's not a treasure, because we all know what she's there for, So he knows that. Because a person who a treasure is going to want you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. And so again, I do believe age does have something to do with it, mistaken. But even at a young age, when that girl ain't for you. You know it. You in something toxic. And I'm saying that because I was young too. And even with boys, come on, if you're at 18 and 19 years old, if that girl guy is doing the extra, that's not good for you. You just in love with that toxicity. It moves you. It's like, you do.
You do.
You think
I don't
because of your development, but I think
I don't know if you do. I'm like, I have a long conversation coming up with my son because he has two friends that are competing for his attention at the current moment, and he don't realize that neither one of these chicks is he should be trying to holler at. And honestly, Marcus, now that I've considered it a little bit more, you know what? Maybe the men in the space don't know. What are some of the arguments and the gripes that we hear, right? Trying to get women to move and act right that don't want to move and act right. They want these trophies to be treasured, and they don't want to be. maybe they don't have the discernment to be able to just look past them and see them as for what they are. So maybe they weren't arguing with you yesterday on purpose.
I agree, because if y'all try to talk another OnlyFans chick off the ledge, let her be. She is showing you. I tell y'all this every single time because I want you to get in your head, because I'm so tired of seeing the reels. She signed up to be the that's what she signed up to be. It was in her to do that. So let her be. Stop trying to change her mind. It is what it is. And then you get mad when you marry her, like, oh, dude, the basketball player, and she goes back to being who she showed you she was in the beginning. It never left. It was just dormant for a minute. Then she got mad at you. You wasn't pulling, doing whatever you was doing with her. And guess what she did? Legs wide open again.
I have a question, though. My question is, because I do agree with what you're saying, but I also believe too, again, the age and stage, to me, age and stage in your life matters, because I think the older you get, hopefully you've gained enough experience in various areas, enough life experience to adapt and make changes, right? So my question is, how do you determine, or what things do you look for to determine whether or not a trophy is actually a treasure? Because sometimes, like, I look at, like, I'll tell you all the time, I met my husband when I was 18. I would say at that stage of my life, I was a trophy, but he saw a treasure. I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? So I think that there are times where the trophy can become a treasure, but my thing is, as a guy, how do you determine that? You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Remember, you told us in the shit, I think it was either last week or the week before, you acquiesced to what he said. You made some adjustments to fit him. And that is a sure sign of at least potential treasure potential. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you kept making these adjustments, and of course, I'm sure he made some adjustments as well, but you kept changing and growing to be the woman that he wanted you to be. And as soon as that transformation happened, oh yeah, that's it. That's my treasure.
And I think
too, now, if you would have never acquiesced to what he was asking, what does my boy Hink say? He'd have left your ass at the restaurant.
And I think too, and I think that there's an in between there, right? Because just because she's not your treasure doesn't mean she's not a treasure to somebody, right? So it also depends on what that man is looking for. AP's wife may not fit well in Marcus's life, and Marcus's wife may not fit well in AP's life. I think that it's not a one size fits all. It's what that person deems is appropriate for him. What I may deem as a treasure may be totally different from what you feel is a treasure, mistaken. You know, so I just think it's just in the eye of the beholder. Now, there are people we know are not treasures. But hell, to one of these men who them women get stalked. He may think she a treasure because she fulfilling something that he really want, he need. You know, we don't know. So even trophies can be treasures to somebody. You know.
So, well, off camera, that's what we were just. Off camera, that's what we were just talking about. Because I was saying I struggle with, since we use these definitions or whatever, or using, these phrases, that I felt like all the women that I got was trophy women, and then I just picked treasures from that trophy. Like, that's a fair statement, right? And I knew the difference though, which is why I always run back to it. Men interacting with women is a skill set that they have to learn. So it's kind of hard for me to push a man just falling in love at 18 and moving forward without experiencing life to be able to even navigate and tell the difference between the women. I don't think women require that same experience as long as they run into a goal. you know.
Can't turn to a housewife. They better stop playing.
Well, you know, hoes arcs can be housewives as well. Now, would she have morals and would she, you know, do the things morally that you want her to do? Probably not. But she could probably tend to a house. Sometimes them hoes can cook. They can clean. They can whip
Which
up
is
some.
why you meet them at their house so that they can cook for you, and you can smash and take your ass home and leave them the mess to clean up. Don't turn no hoe into a housewife. Don't do it.